Hi, back with me, Rahma Vivianita. Like I mentioned in the previous video, so today we're gonna talk about feral child, especially for Genie Wiley. A feral child is human children who are really isolated and even very rarely or never communicate with others from an early age and do not have experience in talking, living in groups, and human-like treatment. On average, feral children are abandoned by their parents, some are rejected by the community because they are considered carriers of disasters, and some live together with animals. And now we're gonna talk about Genie Wiley cases. Genie was discovered at the age of 13 living completely isolated in a room in her parents' house without interaction, restrained to a party chair for most of her life. Genie Wiley was born on April 18, 1957 in Arcadia, California, United States of America, and arguably a pretty big city. Her father's name is Clark Wiley and her mother is Irene Oglesby. At the age of 20 months, Genie was locked in a totally dark room and tied to a bench with a straitjacket. Genie wasn't taught how to defecate or urinate. He did that because he considered Genie to be a disabled child and wasn't useful to society, and therefore Genie had no socializing and interacting with the outside world at all. Claude tortures Genie and hits her with a wooden stick that traumatizes Genie. As a result, Genie, deprived minimal human contact, was unable to talk, and there are also some studies that suspect Genie's sexual harassment because he has strange sexual behavior, like he is more focused on older men. Her only environment was bare walls and her bed. Having been isolated and abused almost over a decade, Genie spent her entire childhood locked in the bedroom, often tied naked, unable to move her feet and hands. The old child barely walked and moved in a jerky way, holding her arms in front of her body. And the truth about Janet turned out when her mother escaped with her at 13 years old. Both parents were charged with child abuse. However, Janie's father committed suicide the day before he was expected to appear in a court. Being discovered, Genie was scarily skinny, weighing about 60 pounds as her father fed her only milk and pablum. The speechless and silent child was spitting all the time and couldn't seem to use language or even to chew. And after that, Genie was taken to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles and met several specialists assigned to her case. She is interested in drawing, she likes listening to classical music and doing well with the housemates. Within the first year, Genie makes rapid progression. For instance, swiftly learning how to dress. It seems the girl has a strong ability to communicate non-verbally. And she clearly explored the world around her, like enjoying walking outside the hospital. Now her legs are more stronger. She walks more confident. Genie's eyes shine when people care for her. And she loved being caressed and soon learned how to hug back. She quickly begins adding words to her vocabulary. And finally, she occasionally puts 3 words together as little kids do. And it appears that she is completely capable of learning. A quiet girl starts talking. And due to slow progress and lack of funds, Genie's research was stopped. Her biological mother found it too difficult to treat her. Instead, she is put into a foster home where she is often beaten. Genie has no prospects. The progress that she has made within her first years of training dims. And finally, Genie's situation continued to worsen, and she regresses back into silence. Today, Genie is under 60 and she is mentally underdeveloped, speechless, depressed woman who lives in a private adult foster care. And from this case, we can conclude that humans must have good relationships and interactions with others, especially our parents. This feral child case shows the important role of parents in a child's growth and development. If the child is not mentored early on and the parents do not set a good example for their child, then it is very likely that the child will not grow properly. And humans have the need to communicate, socialize, and get along humans because humans are social creatures. So, when one of these needs is not obtained, it will interfere with children's psychological and development. Genie is an example. Since the beginning, she got a stimulus so bad that she always felt scared. Therefore, the child must be educated and taught from an early age so that she becomes a complete human. If the child doesn't develop in a good environment, there will most likely be deviant behavior when they grows up. And I choose this topic to make all of us aware that the important role of parents if the child's development process, and also the importance of having communication with our children. So that's all about feral child. I hope you get the point that I talk about, and see you on the next video. For the next video, I'm gonna talk about animal communication, and goodbye. Cheerio.